Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you'll have seen from the thumbnail, which I need to take in a little bit, we've got a new toy. It's a brand new second-hand toy. Not a great one, needs a bit of work, but I think, being as we like a project on the channel, it was a good one. Really, really good price, guys. 10 minutes down the road from me, so nice to actually have something local. And it's what I've really wanted for a long time. I had the Losi 5T before, the 32cc gas one, petrol. Where we run, electric is favoured, to be honest. I know we got the petrol gravedigger raminator, but we don't use that huge amount. This one is a bit of a Matt Armstrong project. It's a fire damaged one. It's all running and working, but I can smell it now. That magic smoke smell of melted plastic, not ideal. So there's a couple of new parts we're going to have to get pretty much straight away, but I'm sure a couple of little bits we can do to it tonight. We can get it bashing, see what it's like, suss it all out, and then we can see what bits we're going to do sooner rather than later. Millions and millions of cool upgrades for this, guy. So this is going to be a long-term project car. I think it's worth having. As me and Mario from Broken RC sort of chatted about the other day, jumping, taking your cars to the moon, it's great fun, brilliant footage, but it does get a bit tiresome fixing your cars. So we thought, right, let's get a ground basher, have some fun without going crazy on skate parks, see if it's as much fun. I'm sure it will be. So this is the Losi Dbxl-E 2.0. So it's running 8S. It's got the Spectrum firmware system in it, completely stock, guys. So we'll take the receiver out of it because I'm going to run the Radiolink RC8X. Been using that for about 2 years now. We've got pretty much all our ground bashers on it, a couple of boats as well. It's been absolutely faultless, so we're going to get that in because I hate having hundreds of controllers. Drives me crazy. I'd rather just chuck a load of bashers in the van, get one controller, a couple of presses on a button, job done. So I'm going to bring you in a bit closer. We'll go over together because I haven't even taken the body off this, guy, so you can come and see firsthand with me what, if anything, needs changing, and we'll take it from there. Let's do that now. Let's get you off that tripod. Let's bring you in and have a look at this beast. I'd be honest, guys, I've forgotten quite how big these things are. Like, that's enormous. Really, really cool. Suspension's a bit creaky. Body's taken some hits there by the look of it. The top of the shock mounts have pushed through. Something's fallen off already. What was that? A bit of body. There we are. We'll get rid of that. Already noticed that's broken, but that's probably a missing screw and a washer. We can sort that out for now. Would like to get some carbon body panels I've seen on there. I'm hoping the light works, but if it doesn't, we've got a spare ready. Now we come on to Matt Armstrong's department. It's a bit awkward to get it to focus, but all that there, guys, is not dirt. That is actual melted plastic. Good job we haven't got smelly vision, because it absolutely stinks. A couple of rusty screws I can see. Lots of rusty screws. Don't know whether that, oh god, it's all fleeking off already. Don't know what's going on there. We'll suss that out. But the guy I had it off, the battery caught fire in it. He reckons this battery in the back here, because you can put two in it, one at the front, one at the back. The back one caught fire, and by the time he could get it out, it had caused some damage. But it does seem to be quite localised to that one corner. Rear suspension's right. Needs a bit of oil in it, I think, by the feel of it. Let's get this body up. I remember rightly, these hinge, I've broken out already. These hinge off up to the back. There we are. Looks like the light might work, guys, because it is all still wired in, that all down the side there. Yeah, that has, oh god, look at all that in there. That absolutely stinks, guys. So, new body, new roll cage. I'll get rid of the fire damage and stink. He's had the brace. Not ideal having that. Maybe, yeah, we can get some upgraded ones of those anyway. That was going to be something I would like to do very quickly. Those braces and the back one, the front one there. I would like to change those. Shock towers I'd like to change as well. I fancy some beefy ones there, because say we're not going to jump it ridiculously, but I would like it to leave the ground. That does look a very, very new ESC there, guys, compared to the rest of it. We're going to have to chop these plugs off and change them if I can't find any adapters. Although I did try it in the guy's car when I just picked it up, and it did all work. So what I think we'll do, we'll get in this receiver box and we'll get the radio link out and we'll pop that in, because like I say, I'm not a fan of millions of controllers, guys. So let's get that receiver box open and let's make a start doing that. Apologies for the noise of the rain if you can hear it on my garage roof, guys. Right, we've got the radio link. Still got this good carry case, handy to keep these, guys, because it keeps it all protected. So let's get that out. Now this, it really is mega, guys. It's one of the simplest radios I've used yet. One of the most feature full radios. In my hand there, we've got another 2 receivers there. I like these 8 FGs. I don't need 8 channels for this, but they got really nice long aerials and long range. So really cool screen on these, guys. Let me just step around the camera. So it's so simple to change the mode. Simple press on there, find your car, and there we've got all my models on that screen and all the ones on the other one. So simple for a new one. Press that. We need to just delete what we got in there. Now we're going to call it Losi. For ease for a second, we'll just say 12S, because it's the only Losi we got on this at the minute. 12S. Back to text. Now confirm. So we'll simply press that, model select, yes. Are we sure? Yes. There we are. Back out of that menu. There we are, just at the top there. Hope this is all in focus, a bit tricky to see from my screen looking through it. Losi 12S. So we know we got that model selected, but it's so simple to use this radio, guys. Everything is all just touch screen on it. It's absolutely brilliant. Into the home screen, and when you move your inputs, you can see on the channel mixer there, channel 1 steering. That, incidentally, if you can see that on the camera, that's only got 100%. So we move that to 120 throws, just to give us a bit more on his throttle there, which is -100 and +78. So +78, so it's going to go reverse slower than 100 all the way forwards. And obviously you've got all the other little buttons on the side there for all your other channels. So let's pop this down a second, and we need to get the receiver into the car. Super simple this should be. I'm hoping this should just work straight away, this ESC, but I think they're like the hobby wing ones where you can press and hold the button to set it. So you just full throttle, neutral, reverse, and it'll work. So that's the receiver we're going to use. So once we've got it powered up via our ESC and our ESCM servo plugged in the ports there, simply press and hold the bind button on there. It'll flash rapidly. Turn your controller on, because this needs to be off at the start. So turn your controller off. Get this one powered up, press and hold the button, it'll rapidly flash green, turn your controller on, within a couple of seconds it'll bind up and you'll have a solid green light on there. So let's get that fitted in the car and then we can see if it all works. I suppose one thing we should do, guys, before we start taking apart is make sure all of this actually works. So forgive my dodgy looking batteries. We've got some small 4S packs, any old thing will do, and I've got some XT60 to the Spectrum plugs there just for a second. So we'll make sure it all works. We'll get it bound up to the radio link, then we'll chop these plugs off, put our XT90s on. We've got the Spectrum Dbxl-E that's come with this Losi, so we'll be advertising that for sale shortly. So let's just make sure it all works again. So we'll turn the receiver controller on, rather. Green light on there. We've got our batteries plugged in. Press the button. Eight beeps. Steering works. Oh, we've got a red flashing light. Don't know if you can see that on the camera. I'm going to assume that is low voltage, guys, in these flat 4S packs. Oh, there we are. Right, so the car works. So we'll turn that off. Now we know we've got power. Nice big motor. Well happy with that, guys. So we'll take these batteries out now, whip this receiver box off, and let's get this radio link fitted in there. Great they got long aerials, but on bashers it's sometimes a bit of a nuisance, so we're gonna have to cable tie it down the side there. So let's get that fitted. And apologies, guys, if you can hear the rain beating down on my garage. It is an absolute monsoon out there tonight, hence why I'm quite happy to be inside in the dry and the warm getting this done. Need to remember, obviously, that there is a light on this car. So let's stuck that aerial. We'll pull that tube out in a second. There we are. Right, so we've got the Spectrum receiver out. Where's my camera? There we are. Spectrum receiver's out. Similar sort of size actually to the one we're going to use. So we don't need that one. So that can be put aside. Now we can get this one sorted. Alright, where's that one coming from? That was coming from in there. No. Yep, that one's the speed controller. So that's going to be channel 2, guys. There's 2 on there. Look on the side of the radio link. One starts at the top. So that's 2 there. Make sure we got it the right way around. Like that. And that one will be the steering. So that's going to go in that one there. Make sure you put them the right way around, Dad, as well. Don't need to be blowing things up, do we? Signal wires on the aerial end of these radio links, guys. Just remember that. Signal for signal. There we are. And we'll put the lights in any old channel. Doesn't really matter because these are just powered, guys. So as soon as you put power in the receiver, voltage comes out and your light should work. Right, okay. So what we need to do now, guys, is turn our controller on. We've got that there. Press and hold the button. Welcome to Radio Link, and as you can see on the top, Losi 12S. Just make sure we got the right one. So we're going to knock that off a second, guys. And we need to turn the car on. And we've got a flashing light on the receiver there. So what we need to do now, we'll just use this body clip, should fit in the hole. Nope, bear with, I'll have to get a screwdriver. Right, I've got a screwdriver, guys. So let's turn it all back on. So controller on first. Press and hold the button. Welcome to Radio Link. Okay, we can see on the top there, we've got our model we've just preset. Channel 1 is the steering. Channel 2 is the throttle. So we've got the ports plugged in the receiver. So we'll press and hold the button, turn it on. Not sure why the servo's twitching, going full right lock there. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So, oh, that is actually bound. This must already be bound. Bad example there, guys. It's already bound to my controller from another model, so we'll sort out, make sure all the endpoints and the controls are in the right way. But basically, with these radio links, get your controller on, press and hold the button once your receiver's powered up. It'll rapidly flash green, and then a couple of seconds later, you'll be bound to your controller. So, when it's flashing slow green, it's all connected, it's all alright, it's just not bound, or in this case, the controller was off. So, that's a solid light, and we are bound to our controller. So if we just unzoom you a little bit, we've got steering. That is actually the right way. Right and left. And I've got it on some X-Max wheels for safety, guys, so it's off the ground. Right, that's actually going backwards, so we need to change the setting on the controller. So, let's go into settings. Sorry, settings, basic menu, channel reverse, which is there, and we want to reverse channel 2. Back out of that, back out of that. There we are, that's now going forward, guys. And the brake works. And the brake still works, yeah, excellent. Not a bad servo, that. One thing I've noticed is this front wheel does seem quite loose. I don't think the car's had a huge amount of wear, so that's probably one of the first maintenance and upgrade areas we're going to look at, guys, is getting some tighter links and things on these servos. I'm sure all of these bits you can buy aftermarket. I'll be honest, I haven't even looked yet, so we'll get that sorted. Basically, I just want to run it first, guys, just to make sure it's all alright. So I'm going to get this all tucked back in now. Need to put one aerial through it at least. Check out how close that controller was to falling on the floor there. The one thing I will say with this radio link, guys, is I looked at the FlySky Noble as well. And I decided to go for this one purely, I wonder if we can get 2 through there, purely because it just seemed a bit more bashable. I don't mean basher truckable, I mean a bit stronger in itself. Was that going to go? Yeah, we might get 2 through there, guys. The Noble is an awesome looking bit of kit, and it might well be better than this, I'm not sure, but for what I want to use it for, it's not going to go through, guys. So what I want to use it for is all the basher trucks and the boats. So I actually think, in all honesty, this radio link is going to be a better bet. Dina says a plastic case on there. I think it's going to wear a lot better than the Noble one. The one thing I would like to get, well, I can't find anywhere, so if anyone does know of any, please let me know. I fancy one of the silicone covers around it. It's worn really, really well. I'm a nightmare for just dropping it on the floor with other stuff. And she's got wet, some of the screws are rusty, I need to change those. And I've also got the phone mount you can see on the top of there for catching some epic footage. But that has been really good. So now that receiver's in, I'm going to turn the car off. Get that off. Always turn the car off first, guys. Any controller. We'll set the end points on the steering in a second. I just want to get this receiver all tucked in so we can do one job at a time. So that's all in there. Which way round does it go? Front goes on first. Note there is no seal in that, guys. The old traxxas apparent patent of a waterproof receiver box. So that's one thing. I'll tell you what we are going to do with that in a future thing before we get it soaking. I'm going to put that receiver in a balloon like I used to do with my old Tamiya cars. And that'll keep that nice and dry and safe in there because we don't want a runaway car. I'm not going to go through there. I don't want to put my head in the way of the camera, guys. A bit tricky to get these through if I've even got the right one. I think that's too big, that one. Can I go in there? Yeah, just about go in there. It's really tricky, guys, when you can't see what you're doing. I'm sure that's the wrong one. Let's have a look. No, they are all the same size. They are all the same size, just me being stupid. Let's try from the other side. Ah, the receiver box actually broken, that's why. Top's come off it, so that's never going to stick down anyway. So we'll chuck it back on for now. We'll put the receiver in a balloon. And we can get that a bit better fitted. That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Losi tough. That must have broken as I took this flipping thing out. Right, okay, no worries. We'll sort that out again. Put it in a balloon. Right, on to the next thing. What are we going to do? Clean it up. Or, I'll tell you what we haven't done. We haven't checked if these lights work, have we? Let's turn the controller back on. Do the lights work? Yes, they do, guys. Let's just take you off there quickly. Show if you... Sorry, I actually turned you off as I took you out of the tripod then, guys. Yeah, so the light does work. That is very underwhelming at best. So that's only running from the receiver, which I would assume from this receiver is like 5 volts output. So we get a better one on there and we'd run it off the balance port of the battery. Ideally, it'll be nice and bright. So, right, okay. Get that receiver in a balloon, and then we're on to giving it a clean. I'm going to really show my age now, guys. Who remembers doing that with your Tamiya, your old non-waterproof Tamiya car? Basically, simple balloon. Open that up, and we're going to jam the receiver in there, and then it'll all pinch down, and it'll keep that nice and dry in there, guys. So let's just get that all jammed in there. Because one thing you absolutely don't want is all that getting soaking wet. So that'll protect that a bit. And then I've got some sealant here, so we just stick that back on. Just want to make sure everything's working before we get too excited and seal stuff up. So it's a nightmare to get it off in a bit. So we get that jammed in here. Not going to work. And we'll stick that back on here with some sticky, sealy. And that'll be all nice and waterproof. So one thing I am going to do is the end points on the steering. So let's turn the car back on. The radio is on, guys, the controller. Already still on. So we need to see, let's move you around, if the steering will move further. Excuse the bumping, guys, it's a nightmare on your own, isn't it? Let's see if the steering will move further if we do the end points on it. So these are currently set to 100 on the controller. So if you look on the controller there, that top line, 100, 100. So look how far the steering goes. That feels really bad, that steering, guys. I don't know what's going on with it. It sounds very, very loose. So back in the controller, into there, basic menu we want, endpoints, and we are doing channel 1. See, it says max 100 there. Let's get that phone mount out of the way. Max 100. So we're going to press that. We're going to turn it up to 120, and the other one there is, I might try a plus 120. So we got 120 both ways. So we come out of that now, and we got 120 on the controller that way and 120 that way. So make your own minds up, guys. Is that going further? I'm not entirely sure. That steering really is shocking. Oh, it's jammed up. No. Not sure what's going on there, guys. Looks like the drive shaft's coming out. I'm not sure. We're going to investigate that before we drive it, and we'll see what's going on there. But make your own minds up. That's 120. So have a little look back and see where it was at 100. I'll tell you what we could do. If we leave it on that lock, look, we go back into the endpoints menu. Does it move? So that's at 100 now. That hasn't moved. So I would suggest on this, it's not making any difference, guys. So it's turning up 110, 115, 120. Doesn't actually make any difference on this car. That must be max throws anyway. So we're going to investigate what's wibbly wobbling on there next. I think I figured out what's loose. This bar here is screwed from the top and one underneath. And if you can see that, that is actually wobbling up and down, look, on that. It all feels so loose, all these links. That's really wobbly, isn't it? You can see that just by my little finger there moving up and down. If we go to the other side, and you wiggle that, that post there doesn't move up and down. That's absolutely solid on there. Like all these links seem very, very loose. Not ideal, but we'll see how it handles. So I'm going to put an Allen key in the top and one up from underneath, which obviously I can't do with one hand, guys. So I'm going to get that tightened up and we'll see if it makes a difference. Right, I've had a quick change of mind, guys. I'm not going to bother cleaning it because, quite frankly, the dirtiest bits are fire damage that I can't clean off and I want to change anyway. And the weather in South Wales here, don't know if it's like where you are, is absolutely horrendous. And I'm so excited to get this out and try it, guys. I can't wait to clean it and mess about and then get it out and get it filthy again. So I'm just going to run it as it is, get it filthy, and then once we've cleaned it down, we can start stripping it down, get some bits changed. The radio link's charged. I got some big new 4S's that have just come, which are here. Hoovo. So I got these on Amazon, guys. I think they were about £70 for the two. I'll leave a link in the description. So they are 6,500 milliamp hours, 120C. So we should get a good punch out of those on this 8S system. So we got two of those, nice new shiny ones. So we'll get these unboxed. There we are, that's those unboxed. I haven't done a quick unboxing for a while, have we? So we've got those two there, they're going to fit really nicely in there. But I have got to change the plugs on the ESC to XT90s, which we will do. In the future, potentially this could have a Max 5 G2. We'll see. But now, just as a final goodbye for the video, just for this short one, I had a comment from Kev yesterday saying our repairs were more like Max rather than him. So Kev, apologies for that, mate. You're absolutely right. Max, this one's on you. Cable ties. So the body's a bit dodgy. So let's get in here. There's only one we're going to need. So it's not a full-on Max bodge job. We're going to push that through there because what I don't want is this body getting ripped off and getting even worse than it already is. So look at that, they're white. I haven't even got any black cable ties to even try and hide it. So we get that in there, which is an absolute nightmare when you can't see what you're doing, guys. Get that in there, zip that up. I'm not even going to bother cutting it because I don't think it's going to last very long. There we are, that'll do. Proper Max job. Max, legend. Love your cable ties, mate. Right, let's cut this video off there, guys. We'll get these batteries charged, battery plugs on. The next video is going to be our first shakedown of this brand new second-hand Matt Armstrong edition, fire damaged, Losi Dbxl-E, whatever it's called. Let's do it!